Mirror, mirror in my hand, who is the sexiest in all the land?
Not you.
What? Okay, I might have just broke the mirror. Yeah, that's not good. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Locker Room Talk. Today, we're going to be giving out our way too early predictions for the NBA 2024-25 season. Without further ado, let's just get into it. So let's start off with the awards. Now, let's start off with the biggest award in NBA. That is the MVP. And who I have winning the MVP is going to be Luka Doncic, who last season almost averaged a 34-point triple-double. This season, I do think he will average that triple-double and will collect the MVP. You know, he's got Kyrie working with him. He's got the new centers, PJ Washington, Daniel Gafford. He's got Clay coming in. Yeah, I think the Mavericks are going to be that number one seed. Little spoiler, the Mavericks are going to be the number one seed in the West. Moving on, we got DPOY. I have this between three players: Victor Wembanyama, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and Rudy Gobert. Who I have winning it? Victor Wembanyama. Yes, the second-year player out of France. Victor last year averaged 3.5 blocks, had a defensive rating of 105.6, which was better than Rudy Gobert's defensive rating, even though he won Defensive Player of the Year. I think Victor improves upon both of these numbers, and yeah, Victor wins DPOY. Now moving on, we have Rookie of the Year. I have this race between Alex Sarr, Khalil Ware, I almost said Kevin Ware, and Zach Edey. Yes, Zach Edey, ladies and gentlemen. You might be like, oh, why don't you say, Reed Shepherd is currently the favorite. Why don't you think Reed Shepherd? I don't think it's going to be Reed Shepherd because of all the talent surrounding, all the young talent surrounding, Houston. I think they have too many good players for Reed to really have an impressive, outstanding. He's going to have a great season, but I don't think he's going to have enough, you know what I'm saying. Who I think is going to win it? I think Alex Sarr for the Washington Wizards is going to win the Rookie of the Year just because, he's got Jordan Poole who's going to be feeding him the ball. I think Jordan is going to really thrive with Alex Sarr playing with him. And then Kyle Kuzma is going to show him the ranks, I think it's definitely time for Washington to find their star player and start to get better and look ahead to the future. Now moving on, we have Sixth Man of the Year. And yep, I'm going with the previous winner of Sixth Man of the Year, Naz Reid. He's going to win it again. Every year of his career, he's been improving. Last year, he averaged 13.5 points coming off the bench. I think this year, he will average almost 20 points per game coming off the bench. And yeah, I have Naz Reid going back-to-back with Sixth Man of the Year. My most improved player of the year. Now, you might be thinking of guys like Jonathan Kuminga, Scotty Barnes, Evan Mobley. My personal idea is the person who wins most improved player will either be Jabari Smith Jr. or Cameron Thomas of the Brooklyn Nets. And I have Cameron Thomas of the Brooklyn Nets winning. Kind of shocked he wasn't even in sort of the conversation last year. I mean, he went from averaging 10.5 points to 22.5 points per game last season. And I think this season, without Mikal Bridges, he's going to take the reins for the Brooklyn Nets, and he's going to average almost 26 to 27 points per game. I think the one thing he needs to work on is his playmaking. Once he gets his playmaking and his assist average up, and also his three-point shooting, if he gets above 40% and he gets 50%, maybe he's a 50-40-90 type of guy, definitely wins MIP player right there. Our clutch player of the year, no shocker, it's going to be Jalen Brunson of the New York Knicks. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. Jalen, he's just so cold. And the Knicks the Knicks are going to be fun to watch. Now, moving on, Coach of the Year. I think my Coach of the Year is going to be Jamal Mosley for the Orlando Magic. They got Paulo going on to another year. They draft the rookie Tristan DeSilva, who looks amazing. They got Jalen Suggs, who's always improving. Franz Wagner, always improving. Yeah, I think the Magic make some waves again as they did the previous year. So, yeah, I think Jamal Mosley wins Coach of the Year. Now, moving on to the rankings. Now, let's start from the bottom. Start out in the West. Now, I want to give some honorable mentions. I have the San Antonio Spurs just missing out on that 10th play-in position. And yeah, I mean, I feel like they have definitely a shot. I feel like it's either going to be them or the ninth. We'll have it the ninth, so maybe I can swap between them. It depends on the health of one player, and I think you already know. That might be a giveaway. But let's start off with number 10, the Houston Rockets. Yes, the Houston Rockets just kind of missed out in the play-in last season. Now they have all these group of guys. They got Ime, they got the young core working with the old vets, Fred McVee, Dylan Brooks. Alperen Sengun is just going to continue to improve. So I have the Rockets at the 10. At the 9, I have the Pelicans, the New Orleans Pelicans. Just got DeJounte Murray. I'm going to have CJ McCollum coming off the bench. If Zion stays healthy, then the Pelicans could definitely move up on this list, but that's the big if Zion can stay healthy, because he has not stayed healthy once in his career. I mean, last year he was doing well in the playoffs, but then he got hurt, all that jazz. All right, number 8 spot, I have the Los Angeles Lakers taking the 8th spot. I don't think they're going to be too great this season. It's going to be LeBron. Could be LeBron's last season. I don't know if he has 2 more in him or he is. I don't know LeBron. He's an old man. He always surprises us. But I think they take the 8th. They're not that great of a squad. But yeah, I think they'll 100% make the playoffs. And then at my 7th spot, I have the Memphis Grizzlies, who get a healthy Ja Morant back. You know, they get Zach Edey. The one thing about the Grizzlies that I'll tell you, one thing I like, one thing I don't like. The one thing I don't like is that Zach Edey doesn't really spread the floor for Ja. Because Zach can't really shoot threes, or he can shoot a little bit of mid-range, but not too much. Pick and roll is going to be nasty between them, but yeah, he doesn't really spread the floor. But on the advantage of Zach Edey, him and Jaren Jackson Jr. in your front court defensively, that's just going to be a nightmare for any guard, just anybody. It's going to be hard to score on. So Memphis, I have at 7. And my number 6, and staying at number 6 from last year, the Phoenix Suns. Now, I do think they will get better, especially in the playoffs. They will get better, but they really don't. Defensively, they don't really have anybody that stands out to me. So yeah, I have the Suns, but it's gonna be another year of Booker, Bradley. I almost said Booker, Bradley, and Beal. Booker, Beal, and KD, the big 3 working together. I think that they're gonna do a lot better. They have more time to work with each other in the off season. I believe they got a new coach. Yeah. Oh yeah, Mike Budenholzer. They get the new coach. I think this is gonna work nice with them. Suns at 6. And number 5, I have the Kings, the Sacramento Kings. They just got DeMar DeRozan. Sabonis is just like averaging triple doubles. He's doing his thing. De'Aaron Fox always gonna do his thing. Malik Monk, 6th man of the year candidate always. And then Keegan Murray, corner specialist, 3-point specialist. I think the Kings surprised a lot of people and take the 5th seed. 4th seed, I'm going with the OKC Thunder. Yes, I mean, last year they had the 1 seed, and this is no slight saying that the Thunder will get worse. I think this Thunder will continue to dominate, but I'm just looking at the teams ahead. I think they will do a little bit. The teams ahead will do a little bit better, but OKC, just Chet coming off another year in the NBA. Shea just will continue to be in the MVP conversation. Jalen Williams, all that good stuff. Yeah, the Thunder they're definitely going to be a team to beat. At my number 3, I got the Denver Nuggets. Yes, the Denver Nuggets. They lost KCP, which is going to be a huge hit to them in the regular season. They got Russell Westbrook. Christian Braun is looking good. He's going to continue to improve, but hopefully Jamal Murray will have a better playoffs than last year, but we'll have to see. But yeah, I have the Nuggets at number 3. At my number 2, I got the Minnesota Timberwolves. Yes, I think the Minnesota Timberwolves will continue to be great, especially defensively with Rudy Gobert, Jaden Daniels, Anthony Edwards. The one thing I was thinking about the Timberwolves is their point guard position. Mike Conley, he's getting a little bit older. He might regress a little bit, but they bring in Rob Dillingham, who I think will have a great year with them. And yeah, I have the Wolves taking the 2nd seed. And that leaves the number 1 seed, which I did spoil before, the Dallas Mavericks, who brought in Klay Thompson last season, brought in PJ Washington, Daniil Gafford. You got everybody working together now. Best offensive backcourt in backcourt in NBA history. I was getting too confused, but yeah. I think the Mavs are going to take the 1 seed and, just surprise. Well, I don't even know if that's a surprise. I guess it kind of is. But, yeah. you might have noticed I left off two teams. One team's being the Clippers. They lost PG. I think they should trade Kawhi, to be honest with you. I think they should just go in full rebuild mode. They get the new stadium, new jerseys, new everything. I think they just go in full rebuild mode. They probably will keep Kawhi for the season, but maybe at the end, trade him away. I don't know if his contract expires, but the other team you might be shocked that I didn't say is the Golden State Warriors. Yes. I have the Golden State Warriors missing the playoffs. I think the Golden State Warriors will. It's hard because Steph Curry is so good, but I just don't see him maybe above the Pelicans. I don't think they'll beat the Rockets. Maybe above the Pelicans, but I think the Warriors are gonna tank. They're gonna tank and get Cooper Flag. I know you're tanking with a 37-year-old Steph Curry, and you might be like, "Oh my God," but that's just what I think. Famous last words. All right, let's move on to the East, where I want to give honorable mentions to the Raptors, who I think the Raptors will probably just miss out. Maybe they take. It's a toss-up between. I have three teams in a toss-up for the 10th seed, but I'm sticking with my guns. The Raptors, they'll need a year from RJ Barrett to be well. Scotty Barnes is continuing to improve. I mean, at center, Jacob Poeltl, it's all right. I mean, he doesn't really spread the floor, but I mean, Emmanuel quickly is going to be pretty good, but they need RJ Barrett to score at least 22.5 points per game. If they get that RJ Barrett, then they're going to be in the play-in. Another team I want to give a little nod to is the Detroit Pistons, who they just have so much young talent. Jalen Duren, Cade Cunningham, Asar Thompson, they just a Jaden Ivey. They just have so much talent, but I don't know. I think firing Monty Williams was not the move. Personally, I really like Monty Williams, but we'll see what happens. But they could surprise everybody. They get Malik Beasley now. I guess he's their veteran kind of player. But sorry, but Pistons, I think you will improve. Actually, it's not a sorry, because last season you were the worst team in the league. Went on that, I think it was like 24-game losing streak. But you will improve. I don't think you will go on a 24-game losing streak. Maybe just a 10, but I think you guys definitely will improve. All right, taking that number 10th seed, it's gonna be the Charlotte Hornets. Hopefully a whole healthy LaMelo Ball season. Get Brandon Miller come to his second season. Mark Williams will continue to improve. I think it'll be. I feel like they need one more player. I don't know who, but they need a bench. I don't know they need a Malik Monk-ish kind of player. And if they get that, then they'll definitely get the 10th seed. But I'm still gonna give it to them. The 10th seed, the Charlotte Hornets. Might shock you, but. All right, number 9, the Atlanta Hawks. Yes, the Atlanta Hawks taking the number 9 seed. They lost to DeJounte Murray. Get Zachary Richardson with the number 1 overall pick. Trae Young is gonna be Trae Young. He's gonna do well. Not efficient, but I think his efficiency will go up. Especially his assists will definitely go up with Richardson. But then Jalen Johnson will continue to improve. Have a great year. They'll take that number 9th seed. At our number 8th seed. Now, they did pretty well last year, and they're going down, I think, 2 spots. They're going down 2 spots, and that is the Indiana Pacers. Yes, Pacers fans, I'm sorry. I mean, you're still making in the play-in, but you are going to be the 8th seed. Well, at least that's what I think. You will be the 8th seed. The reason why is just because even though you guys are going to, figure out more, you got Siakam for a longer time, I don't think you can keep alive I'm totally going to eat my words right here, but I don't know if you guys can keep alive the number one offense in the NBA, scoring-wise and fast break-wise, maybe, of course, but, I probably will eat my words because, Benedict Mathurin is coming off an injury. He's going to be coming back. I mean, in the playoffs, you guys are going to kill it. Don't get me wrong. But I just looking at the teams ahead, it's just hard to put you guys ahead. But let's just move on to our number 7 seed. I have the Miami Heat. Now, last year, Jimmy Butler was he had a pretty bad, I don't know if he had a bad year, he was just injured a lot. I don't know what was going on with him. But I have the Heat taking the 7th seed. They get, like, Khalil Ware is going to have a great season for them. Bam Adebayo will continue to improve. They got Tyler Hero now. I think he had an injury last season, but Terry Rozier was the guy I'm thinking of. Terry Rozier, they get a full season with him, off-season to train up with him. And then the rookie, Jamie Jaquez Jr., is going to continue to improve. I have Heat at the 7th. And my number 6, I have the Cleveland Cavaliers. Yes, they do. I have them. What am I saying? I have them worse. The Cavs, I have them worse than last season just because of the coach. Now, they fired J.B. Bickerstaff, and I think that was a terrible idea, firing J.B. Bickerstaff. But they bring in Kenny Atkinson, it's really going to be exciting to see what Kenny does with Mitchell, he does with Mobley. The one thing I didn't like about J.B. Bickerstaff was his usage of Evan Mobley, especially in the clutch. With like 2 minutes left, he would bench Mobley on offense and put in like a three-point shooter, which I understand Mobley's not a three-point shooter, but Mobley is going to make a play, and he will, if he gets the ball open for three, he will make it. So that's why I'm like, you're benching one of your future star player, Evan Mobley. It's taking away his confidence in himself and his play, and then his team, whatever that stuff. But I think that was what I didn't like about JB Bickerstaff, and maybe that was a reason as to why the Cavs decided to move on. But yeah, we'll see with the Cavs. I think they will get worse with the new head coach, but let's move on. My number fifth, the Orlando Magic. Paulo continues to get better. Jalen Suggs continues to get better. Cole Anthony comes off the bench. Franz Wagner, Mo Wagner, all that stuff. The one thing I don't know about the Magic is their center situation. If they can bring in, who did I say they should have traded for? I totally forgot. One of my old videos. Maybe you check it out. I said the Magic should trade for... Nick Claxton. If he is a Magic, if they trade for the Magic, that would be crazy. Or that would be a good move. I don't remember if he signed a contract or not. I'm leaving my brain right now. But they just need... I feel like they need a center. Like a young center to sort of go into more than the 5th seed. But they do have Tristan da Silva now, which was a great steal for the draft. We saw in the NBA Summer League. But yeah, the Magic taking the 5th seed. Now, at my number 4 spot, it might surprise you a little bit. I have the New York Knicks at the number 4 spot. The Knicks just got Mikal Bridges, but they're getting Julius Randle back too. But the one thing I don't like about the New York Knicks is going to be their paint defense. I mean, they don't have a center. They lost Hartenstein. They don't have a center to hold things down. Who knows what's going to happen with Robinson, especially as he continues to deal with like his hand problems and stuff like that. So we'll see there. But other than that, the Knicks are just going to be a must-watch team. Very fun to watch. And then at my number 3 spot, I have the Philadelphia 76ers, who just acquired Paul George. They're going to have Embiid, Paul George, Tyrese Maxey. They got another couple players, too, that I'm forgetting, but I think they're going to be the 3 spot. Definitely get better. The one problem I have with Philadelphia, especially in the playoffs, is Nick Nurse. Nick Nurse's minute rotation for the Sixers is just not ideal, especially for Embiid. I mean, we saw last year in the New York series with Embiid, where he played him like 44 or whatever plus minutes a game, and in the 4th, Embiid was just dead tired. He was missing shots short because he was so fatigued, and that definitely played into why they lost that series. But I think now that they bring in Paul George, that will be able to take the load off of Embiid, especially in the playoffs. So maybe I still do thinking, maybe that will fix the minute rotation there. But if he still plays Embiid 44 plus minutes in the playoffs, I think it's going to be a problem there for the Sixers. Moving in my 2nd seed. Now this could switch with the Knicks. All right. I'm a little bit biased. I'm a Bucks fan. Number 2, we got the Milwaukee Bucks. All right. We got a full offseason of Dame and Giannis playing together. Doc Rivers as well. We bring in Gary Trent Jr. the one thing I was saying with the Bucks is they need a Derek White. I think the Bucks got the Derek White. Defensively, Gary Trent Jr. and Derek White not so much similar, but offensively, I think Gary Trent is he's gonna do wonders for the Bucks. Getting him on a veteran minimum is just an incredible deal for the Bucks. They got the young rookies, AJ Johnson, Ajax, Marjon Beauchamp. I say the young rookies, but the one thing with Doc Rivers is the one thing I have a problem with Doc Rivers is that last year he played the veterans over the rookies. He didn't give the rookies a chance to show themselves as much as he should have. I mean, he's playing Danilo Gallinari instead of this promising Marjon Beauchamp, instead of promising Ajax. We'll see if Doc Rivers fixes that this coming second year with the Bucks. But I have the Bucks at the second seed. Could be the fourth. Could swap with the Knicks. And then at my number one seed, yep, you guessed it already, the Boston Celtics will continue to shine. They just have an incredible squad. That's pretty much all I can say about that. Let's move on to our Western Conference Finals. So my Western Conference Finals is going to be between the Phoenix Suns and the Denver Nuggets. I think this is going to be a 6-game series, and I think the Denver Nuggets are going to win and move on to the NBA Finals like they did a couple years prior. And then for the East, all right, this might be a little bit biased again, but I'm going the Knicks. Actually, you know what? It's not biased at all. I'm going the Knicks versus the Bucks. And the reason why I said it's not biased at all, because you're forgetting who Damian Lillard is. Matching Dame with Giannis, it's going to be crazy. If they both can stay healthy, Chris Middleton can stay healthy, it's going to be a great season for the Bucks. I have the Bucks actually winning. I think this is going to be a 7-game series. I have the Bucks winning in 7. It could go either way, but I'm going to go with the Bucks. And then my finals will be the Nuggets versus the Bucks, and I think the Bucks are going to win the finals. I truly do think Giannis will not lose a finals. Famous last words. Hopefully, oh my God, if that's famous last words, I'm going to be so sad. But anybody else, Nuggets fans, anybody else in the NBA, if you're going against any other team, the Nuggets take the series. But I just think Giannis will not let that happen. And I have the Milwaukee Bucks winning the NBA championship. I can't wait to revisit this video in a couple years. Let's ask the Magic 8-Ball if I'm this wise man who knows all, or I'm just like a crackpot old fool. So Magic 8-Ball, am I right with any of these rankings? Okay. My sources say no. Oh, Jesus. Well, what? That didn't happen. Magic 8-Ball, am I right? Very doubtful. Okay, well, I swear I did this before and it said yes, but, well, I guess I don't know what I'm talking about, so, well, let me know in the comments down below with your predictions for player awards and then your teams to move on. Who will do better, who will not, who will get worse, all that good stuff. So, yeah, without further ado, peace.